Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to be discussing square roots, and I only thought it was natural to do this because in the previous lecture we were discussing squaring, when we're dealing with equations, algebraic equations. So this is another additional property, I think number 2 in this case. So actually let's get on with the definition first of all, which says that you can take the square root on both sides without actually affecting the equation. The only condition there being that both sides have to be positive. So what do I actually mean by that? First of all, we need to get the equation for this. 4x squared is equal to 16. That is what we're going to be dealing with right now. And because we're dealing with square root, this is the symbol that we're going to be using. Okay, this is the standard symbol of square roots. Now, the main thing that whenever we're dealing with algebraic equations is that you have to do whatever you're doing, have to do it on both sides. And if you do that, then the equation actually holds. Then we have to actually figure out what the positive thing is all about. Okay, so the positive thing is that you can actually see that both of these are actually positive. Okay, if they were negative, then you won't be able to do that. The reason being that we actually do know that the square root of 4 is equal to 2, right? Now that is the square root of positive 4 is equal to 2. We don't know what the answer is to the square root of negative 4. We don't actually know that. So that is the reason why both of these have to be positive, because that is the only way we are going to know what the answer is going to be at that point. Okay, and so if you follow this one condition, then the actual equation still holds to be true. Okay, the equation holds true, and you don't disturb the balance of the equation, and you can actually convert the same equation back into its original form because we have just modified it. We haven't added something new to it. Okay, and we actually by adding something new to only one side, by adding something new, it means that you're adding something on one side or something. You can't do that, and it is going to affect the equation, and it won't actually remain to be true. So let's actually go through our visual approach first of all, second of all, and the thing is that we have mystery boxes on the left hand side, and we're going to have oranges on the right hand side. The mystery boxes are represented with X, okay, and the oranges are like normal numbers, as I have previously stated. So the thing is that we have 4 mystery boxes on the left hand side and 16 oranges on the right hand side. We are going to see that. Okay, it is 16. So we have 4 mystery boxes and 16 oranges. Now, what does that mean in algebraic equation form? It means 4x squared is equal to 16. Okay, so let's actually take out some of the boxes and some of the oranges. Now we got rid of 2 oranges, 2 mystery boxes, and almost a lot of oranges. We're going to see how many. Okay, we have 4 oranges left. So we have 2 mystery boxes left and 4 oranges. Now what does that actually mean when we're dealing with equations? In equation form, that can be achieved if you take the square root of this equation that we previously had and you take it on both sides. And we're going to do that, and we're going to see the answer, if the answer is true or not. So the square root of 4 is going to be 2, and the square root of x squared is going to be x, so we have 2x. And then the square root of 16 is going to be equal to 4, which is exactly what I was saying previously, right? Which is actually what is said on the bottom side. And that is something of a visual approach I came up with, and I really hoped that this actually works, because it actually worked for me. So the first example in which we actually use the whole property of square roots to find out the value of x. Now, whenever we're dealing with finding x or any variable, the whole question is that you have to isolate the x, and whatever is on the right hand side, you can simplify it. It actually makes life easier if you have it simplified, and that is what we're trying to find out, whenever we're trying to find out any variable. So let's actually try to do that in our equation, which is 16x squared is equal to 49. So the first thing is to get rid of the square. Okay, so the x squared. Okay, so we can do that by taking the square root, and we'll take the square root on both sides. The reason for that is we're trying to modify and not actually add something new to it. Now, the square root of 16 is going to be equal to 4, and the square root of x squared is going to be just equal to x. Okay, individually speaking. We do that, and because they're multiplied, we still have them in the multiplication the way they were previously being multiplied. So we have 4x over here, and on the right hand side, square root of 49, well, that is equal to 7. Okay, now we are left with the equation 4x is equal to 7. Okay, so now we have to we still have the 4 right besides the x, which we don't want because we want to isolate the x. So what do we actually do? We take the you can say that we are dividing by 4. Okay, yes, we can divide it by 4. So we divide the whole equation by 4, the left hand and the right hand side, and you can cancel out the 4's. And 7 by 4 is something that you can't actually simplify further, so we leave it as it is. So we get the answer, x is equal to 7 by 4. So this is actually our solution, which has the isolated x on the left hand side, and we have a specific number which we can't simplify any further on the right hand side. Okay, so let's get on with our second example, which also uses square roots to find the value of x. Now again, we are trying to find out the value of x, isolated x on the left hand side and something on the right hand side. So the first thing that we need to do is to first of all get rid of the square. We do that by taking the square root on both sides, because we don't want to add something new to the equation or delete something from the equation. We're just trying to modify it. And then we the square root of x squared, that is x, and the square root of 9 is just equal to 3. So we get 3x on the left hand side, and on the right hand side, square root of 4 is going to be equal to 2. So we get 3x is equal to 2. Now we're still trying to find the value of x, right? We don't want the value of 3x, we want the value of x. So we need to divide the whole equation by 3, and we do that, and divided by 3 we get the answer, x is equal to 2 by 3. So that is the actual solution of x, right? That is the value of x, and that is all there is to taking the square roots. And I really hope you learned something. Thank you, and thank you for watching.